There's an Orach Chaim HaKodesh, which I always mention. It's a very fundamental principle that he says. We find that initially the people Moshe chose was Al Pi Hashem, is by the word of Hashem. They were Anoshim. Rashi says, what does it mean they were Anoshim? The 12 people was chosen to be the scouts, the spies, tzaddikim. Another expression, Chazal, ksherim hoyu. They were kosher Jews, or tzaddikim. And later, when it says that they returned, it says they went and they returned. So Rashi says Chazal, that just as when they returned Rishoyim, they returned evil. When they went, they were also evil. So the question is, how do we reconcile these two Chazalim? Anoshim means tzaddikim. When they were chosen, they were tzaddikim. And later Chazal tell us that when they returned, they were no different than when they went. They went with this evil intent to find fault and to come up with some kind of claim against Hashem, which is a misinterpretation of the truth. So he says a very fundamental principle. He explains that there's a principle of shlich shel kamoso, that the shlich, the agent, is linked to the mishalech, to the one who commissions him. And just as the shliach functions totally only due to what he's authorized and that what he's commissioned to do, there's an attachment between the one who appoints the agent and the agent. And since Klal Yisrael themselves had questions in Amun and Bitochon, and it was weak, and they suspected Hashem that all this is a ploy only to destroy them, so before the Meraglim, before the Nisim were chosen in Nisim, before there was that level of attachment, they were tzaddikim. But the moment they represented each one of the Shvatim as the agents, the evil intent or the questionable, the weakened emunah and bitochen of the Shvatim, of the tribes, impacted on the agents who were the Meraglim themselves. And as a result of this, when they left, there was a weakness. Of course, they had Bechira, they had choice, but they were tainted due to the connection that they were connected to their Shvatim, to their tribes. This is the Orach Chaim. So therefore, when initially they were chosen, they were tzaddikim. But the moment the linkage was made that they are the agents, they're the shluchim of the matos, of the tribes, then they already were tainted with this questionable belief in Hashem and faith and trust. And as a result of this, and this is what Chazal mean, just as when they returned as evil. When they went, they already had this evil intent because they already tainted, impacted, and diminished as a result of their level of representation. This is the idea. We find in regard to the Mishkan, the Tzivui, their commandment Mishkan is said to Moshe, and then afterwards, of course, it's divided among all the artisans to build the Mishkan. So the Orach Chaim HaKadosh over there explains, why was it said to Moshe? The mitzvah of building Mishkan was said to Moshe because Hashem wanted that Moshe should have the merit of the building of the Mishkan, and all the Jews who participated in the Mishkan were his agents. So as a result of that, all their activity, all their accomplishment accrues to Moshe Rabbeinu. This is Orach Chaim HaKadosh there. And that's why the tzivui, the commandment, is to Moshe, and now he chooses all the people who are able to do it, and now their accomplishments accrue to Moshe. However, according to what we're saying now, as we explained many times, that why did the Mishkan function at that special level? Because it wasn't only the physical development and the specifications of the Mishkan, but each kli, each vessel, each aspect of the Mishkan was infused with a specific intent, and based on that intent, allowed it to function in its capacity to activate various forces, to make corrections and to engender all kinds of bracha in existence. This is the concept of the Mishkan. Based on this, everything in life is siyata d'shmaya. As it says, "B'leiv kol chacham leiv nosel chochma." In the heart of every chocham, Hashem gave wisdom. To what degree of wisdom did He give? So now, according to this principle, that when you're linked to to a negative person, it impacts negatively. So what happens if you're linked to a positive person? If you're Moshe Rabbeinu shliach, so the dimension of Moshe, who Shokal Keneged Yisrael, is associated with every one of these agents. So therefore, the level of Siyata Dishmaya, which each of the agents are going to merit, is something out of the ordinary. Why? Because the ultimate accomplishment has to be to bring the Mishkan on its most advanced level. So therefore, the tzivur, the commandment, was given to Moshe Rabbeinu, and to delegate it through each individual. So as a result of that linkage, the end result is going to be greater than if they would have been independent to do it on their own. This is the idea.